So now this is actually an honor, and I've said this before on multiple live streams, because I'm always hesitant to put my support behind entertainers, rappers, and athletes when they're speaking on the Black community. And I told you guys this before. There's only 2 rappers that I trust to speak about the Black community. One is Killer Mike, and the other is David Banner. Now, since we're talking about ranking scales, and I don't rank men, however, I have such admiration for the brother David Banner, I'm going to use him as an example. David Banner is in the 21 to 30 category. And I don't even say pause, but this is, I like David Banner. I like the way he speaks. I like what he stands for. I definitely enjoy his music. But outside of that, all the stuff that he does from the Black community, if you don't know, please look it up. The way he speaks about the Black community, I respect that brother a lot. And it was just a perfect segue to this live stream that he just did an interview on The Breakfast Club. And I want you guys to hear something, because he recently went through some social media backlash. Y'all remember this? He said, he came out and said that, hey, I'm 50 years old and now I'm ready to settle down and get married. You know who gave him pushback?
Why now at the age of 50 do you think you're ready to settle down?
All right, peep this now. Let me pull out my glasses for this so we can dead this right now. So people talk about love languages, right? I told a young lady this. What are your main love languages? What do you see and want out of a man? She said, I want him to be successful and I want him to spend time. How? I'm a fucking activist, a top tier producer, top tier rapper, actor. I do more than most people do in their one career, in my 5 careers. When do I have time? Think about this, dude. When I wasn't putting out like a pimp, I was producing Wayne or Chris Brown or Maroon 5 or Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones?
I did that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Me and Warren Campbell. Yep. I was acting. People forget Black Snake Moan. It's funny they think that I'm just starting this. I've done 38 films or television shows, right? So then, if I were to get a wife, right, she'll be at home. I'll be an absent provider. And then people will talk about I didn't raise my kids or didn't have time with my wife. We have to choose. Other thing that I always wonder is, why do grown people care about who I'm fucking?
So you hear he's saying, why do grown people care about who he's messing with? He's trying to keep it vanilla. But what's her name? Lauren LaRosa. She asked some great questions. She is definitely cut out for this job. So he was trying to keep it vanilla. I want y'all to pay attention. And this is sometimes where we as Black men, we fail. We're never straight to the point and straightforward with Black women when we're discussing them and what they did.
I'm grown. Look at the shit that we say about good people. You'll make me not want to fuck with you no more. You tell kids what to do and what the right thing to do, and then they do the right thing and you still talk shit? That's why I tell these rappers, do what the fuck you want to do. My resurgence is because of the Black woman and their love and admiration for me. And usually it's just one person. See, we don't read the comments.
You see that? Hold on, he's not done.
Pain taught me this, like that we should just make sure that we do better with treating each other, you know, and respecting each other. And the Black woman has done that for me. It's just a lot of loud negative voices. It's 1 or 2 people.
So this is a common tactic that you use during when you're trying to critique somebody as a leader. In the military, we used to call it a shit sandwich. Okay? So if somebody's effing up, you're nice at first, which is the bread. And I'm going to explain this in civilian terms. You got the bread, which is the nice stuff. Hey, I think you're a great worker. You come to work on time. The uniform is always nice and neat. Last month, you did a couple of great things here and there, but you effed up. And then you start to tell them everything that they did wrong. But then after you're done telling them everything that they did wrong, you end it with something good, which makes the shit sandwich.
I was going to ask you, did the marriage conversation bother you? Because it's kind of backwards for people to be upset that
why
at
does it bother
50,
you?
when you're accomplished and you can devote that time, they're like, bro, so you done ran through, like, they made it almost like they made it a negative.
You see, they're saying they.
Negative thing for you to say, I'm ready now because I can devote the time and energy. How did that make you feel?
And I'm doing superhero movies. Like, how you gonna be out here? You 50, you 50, you 50. Y'all know that don't work with my job. You fucking with my money. Why are you doing that?
I think with you, people are so used to like people saying things for clickbait or like whatever, which hasn't ever been you. I don't know how people confuse that because I feel the energy. Like you mean what you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Since I've been in college at Southern, I've stood for the same thing. Malcolm's, you know, how many Betty Shabazz we have in current time. And we always talk about Marcus Garvey and Martin Luther King, but there's people that are like them to this day. I'll give you a great example. As much as people revere Killer Mike, you and I know how long Killer Mike has been doing this.
Right. That's right.
We know that most black people don't even know his real group.
That's right.
They don't even really know why he's popular.
That's right.
And so the fact that he decides to come back to our community is a blessing because he probably shouldn't.
Killer Mike, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even know Killer Mike was a rapper. Nope. The first time that I heard about Killer Mike was when he did an interview on the Brilliant Idiots. Okay? And that's me being completely honest. I used to listen to the Brilliant Idiots all the time, Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. They were very funny. They used to have some people that I did not know. And Killer Mike was one of them. And when I heard him speak, I was like, this brother's, pretty cool. He know what the hell he's talking about. And then they start mentioning that he rapped. And I was like, what the hell? I didn't know that he rapped. So yeah, so that's how I found Killer Mike back in maybe 2014, 2015. If you're from Atlanta, you guys probably knew who Killer Mike was. I'm not from Atlanta. So that's why. Okay?
Because of the way that we treated him. I produced Mike on his first mixtape or the second mixtape, right? So I watched how hard he worked and he had to go to another community. And bro, that's happening to me now. Like, I had one of my mentors, bro. He told me, he said, Banner, you always get in a position of power and then you throw it all away for your people. And then you...
Do you think that's smart? He said, David Banner, you always get in a position of power, but then you throw it all away for your community. Which is essentially something like going back to the hood once you make it. Is that a smart choice? Especially for black men. You can help the hood. You can donate the hood, but would I advise you to go there and do groundwork and things of that nature when you know it's a lot of danger there? No.
I have to go somewhere else and build it all the way back up to come back and give it back again. And people are not really being reciprocal. I do what I do by the grace of God. And I do what I do because I truly, truly love my people. But what I am not is stupid. So to answer your question really quickly, is that I have a library, extensive library, and I write in the pages of my books to my unborn children.
Young men, y'all should actually get your little note section out on your phone and you should write this down. Okay? Because this is very important when you're talking about marriage and having children. Y'all see what the hell the little rapper DDG is going through. What David Banner is about to say is something that you young guys need to remember, because it's probably one of the most important things that you will ever hear.
I tell them right now, I love you and I don't even know you. I love you so much that I couldn't pick my mother and father. You couldn't pick your mother and father, but I can pick yours.
Ooh. You hear that? Young men, you can pick the mother of your children, and you need to make sure that that is one of the most well thought out decisions that you will ever make in life. I understand marriage. I do. Marriage is important, but the woman you have a child with, trust me, brother, you got to make sure that you are very sure. You have that power. Y'all got all the knowledge in the world, way more than we had. So remember what David Banner just said. You have the power to choose a woman that you decide to have kids with. So make sure you covet that as much as possible.
So I will make sure that I do that with honor. I will make sure that I will take my time. Because right now, the only thing that I'm focused on, bro, you know where we from.
That's right.
Dog, I'm from Mississippi. There's no way in the fuck I'm supposed to be here. I bit time. So the thing, if you notice, man, and all of us in here are successful in a way that most people are not. Every story that you read of substance, whether it's in the Quran or the Bible or the Torah, is really about what you are willing to sacrifice. I wanted 7 children. I am one of the few rappers I want to be married. But usually, if you want something that bad, you have to sacrifice that other thing that you wanted the most. But the cool thing is when I do find her, she don't have to want for shit. My kids won't have to. I'll be able to go to their football games. I'll be able to take years out to make sure that they all right. So I just hate what people say because I love black folks so much. And I can't act like it don't bother me. Envy, it does. You know?
But why?
I was going to ask.
So yeah, so he's talking about the backlash that he received from saying that now that he's 50 years old, he's ready to settle down and get married because he wanted to make sure his finances was right. In other communities, this will be applauded. But in the black community, he caught hell.
Actually, did the marriage conversation bother you? Because it's kind of backwards for people to be upset
Yeah,
that
why
at
does it bother
50,
you?
when you're accomplished and you can devote that time, they're like, bro, so you done ran through, like they made.
You see what she's about to say? They were saying, black women were saying, you done ran through all these women and now you want to settle down. What if he ran through all these women? He didn't have, children at a wedlock. He got his money up. He's a successful man. So why is that a problem? Our community is backwards as hell.
It almost like they made it a negative thing for you to say, I'm ready now because I can devote the time and energy. How did that make you feel?
And I'm doing superhero movies. Like, how you gonna be out here? You 50, you 50, you 50. Y'all know that don't work with my job. You fucking with my money. Why are you doing that?
Do you feel like the pushback came mostly from women or men on the marriage?
You hear that? Let's go back. Watch it. Lauren is good.
Why are you doing that?
Do you feel like the pushback came mostly from women or men on the marriage conversation?
I never
From what
heard
you
anything
saw.
from men.
Okay.
You hear that? He said it and they tried to gloss over it. He said, I never heard anything from men. Translation, I never heard anything from black men. David Banner gonna tell the truth. And again, this doesn't absolve him from, let's say if the conversation comes up about black earnings, income, and David Banner jumps out the window and says, well, all black women, they make more money than black men. He may not be aware, but I trust David Banner enough to understand if I was to present him the information and the truth, he would backtrack and say, you know what? I was wrong. This is what the truth is. The other dudes that go out there and run with these narratives and don't even, do the, research to figure out the truth, I don't think they would do that. But like I said, I think David Banner is a little bit different. So if he does say something that's incorrect, I think he would be open to being like, hey, you know what? I was wrong.
I actually have to say that something happened recently that I don't want to talk about, and black men stood up for me.
You hear that?
Really, really stood up for me. Like my family called me and said, man, go look in the comments, bro. Like, black men are saying, like, he the one that always stands up. He was the one that was at Katrina. He was the one that when this happened and that, why are we doing this to him?
So, again, he's talking about the backlash that he received from saying that he wanted to get married at 50 years old. He said black men stood up for him. Black men were in the comments saying, hey, man, why are y'all going at David Banner? He does so much for the black community. Again, we are living in bizarre world in the black community for some odd reason. You guys coming at David Banner, one of the few men that's out there on the front lines trying to help? That made no sense to me whatsoever. Jesus.
And what I'll say about the black woman is that my resurgence is because of the black woman and their love and admiration for me. And usually it's just one person. Mm-hmm. See, we don't read the comments. T-Pain taught me this. And that's somebody that I have love and admiration for. Mm-hmm. He is one of the premier people in our culture, and
Absolutely.
we should treat him better. Absolutely. I just want to say that. Shout out to Ali Sadiq, too, one of my favorite comedians in the whole wide planet, bro. That's my homie. That we should just make sure that we do better with treating each other, and respecting each other. And the black woman has done that for me. It's just a lot of loud negative voices. It's one or two people. Mm-hmm. And
so he's saying on social media it was just one or two people, i.e. it was, social media, you consider that a couple hundred. Maybe black women was going off on them making videos. I've seen a couple of videos where they were doing reactions. You seen what David Banner said? He just now want to get married, and he was out there running these streets, and now he want to settle down. He probably got, one woman said he probably got erectile dysfunction, and that's why he ready to settle down. It's crazy, man.
What I will say is black women will tear somebody ass up about their David Banner. And I just have to find a way to group those people together.
Do you feel like your love and commitment to the black community?
Oh, this is good. Listen to this. And you guys, I'm sorry, it was such a great interview. You guys, please go to the Breakfast Club and watch the full interview. This dude is very intelligent. But he made a misstep. And I want to see if you guys would make the same misstep for the black community.
Feel like your love and commitment to the black community affects your mental health?
Hell yeah! Affects my money, affects my relationships. I fell in love once with a woman that wasn't 100% black, but she didn't look black.
David Banner said that he fell in love with a woman who wasn't 100% black, but she didn't look black, i.e. she was probably light-skinned. But he knows, as a black spokesperson and a black man who loves black women, he understands that if he comes to the front of the congregation with anything other than a dark-skinned black woman, he is going to get cooked. And you know who else is in that predicament? The young man, I think his name is John Boyega. He was on the Breakfast Club just like David Banner. And there's nothing, I love black women to death. But when a celebrity such as John Boyega goes on the Breakfast Club and he says, yeah, it's got, I'm gonna have my kids by a black woman, it's gotta be a black woman, he is now pigeonholed to marry black women.
Could you bring a stormtrooper home?
Stormtrooper. I've said it openly. It's just a preference. Like I like my women black. And I feel just separate from a political statement or anything like that. It's just they fine as hell. They melanin levels got to be over 75%. You know what I mean? Thickness got to be there. Style got to be there. We got to laugh at the same jokes. We got to bump to the same music. It's just got to be a flow.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
And you can't have conversations about white supremacy tearing apart black families, but you're not even trying to create your own.
I'm trying to have them conversations where I can talk my shit behind closed doors. Like, yes. I'm trying to say, woman, I don't. And she's like, yeah, baby, yeah, you right. That's what I need. You know what I mean? I need her to understand a black man's anger, frustration. I need her to understand when certain dudes walk into the room and the energy ain't right, and she's just like, calm down, baby, chill. I need that. I need me a black
queen, man. I'm with you, King. You ain't gotta tell me.
Which is not a bad thing. I love black women. But also, if that black woman is not dark-skinned, you will not be accepted in the black community because they won't accept it. It's happened multiple times in conversations. When a black man who they thought dated white women gets with a light-skinned black woman, it's a problem. She ain't got the phenotypical features of a black woman. Her nose is different. They said Gabrielle Union's nose is European. So there is a specific type of black woman that you need if you are going to be a spokesperson for the black community. David Banner understood that. And he decided to forego love for the sake of the black community and appearances. Ain't that crazy? What y'all think?
And
Dr. Umar would not have approved.
And but I'm not that part I don't worry about because we live our lives for other people. Only thing I give a fuck about is being happy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We live our lives for outside people, but and to be honest with you, I probably should have stayed with her. I'd have been a lot happier. But I cared too much about the perception of what my people thought, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just did what was best for me.
God, dog. So he sacrificed actually finding love and being happy for the black community, but they cooked his ass for saying that he's ready to settle down at 50 years old, when he actually could have been settled down a long time ago if he didn't care about the black community as much. God, dog. And that's the guy that y'all decided to go after? Could y'all do it? Would y'all do that for the black community? So if anybody, whether we agree and disagree with his reasoning, if anybody you gonna support, it's gotta be David Banner. God dog. Shout out to that brother, man. Shout out to that brother.